Alright guys, so today we're at the Herkimer County Fair for their second day of Demolition Derby. I apologize, yesterday I did not get a Prelude. I'm just too good at talking, and they got hit with a pretty bad thunderstorm before the Derby started. So it was pretty sloppy back here, and I started talking to guys, and then next thing I know, it's about 10 to 7 when the Derby's supposed to start, and I knew I had to be in the grandstand. So tonight we'll get a Prelude, and hopefully it'll be a good night. We got a few full size here. We got both, obviously, compacts, but right here we got compact lines here. We got a, what is this, an Ultima? You said this is Maxima. That's right, Maxima. Got a Sonata next to that. Saw this thing, both of these run last night, actually in the same heat. This one caught on fire. He's back with it tonight. Power steering fire, I guess. And we got this one, fuel pump issue, but it's back again. I think that's going to be a pretty, I think both of these are going to be pretty stout cars here. Got a Camry next to that. Obviously it was here last night as well. Got a G6 next to that. Pretty beat up, already been through at least one Derby. Got a, what looks to be a Sonata sitting next to that. I believe this is to be a Sonata. Or a Kia. One of the two, basically the same car. Let's see, so this is a Toyota Camry that ran last night. Got another Camry behind that. This is a car we don't see too often. This is like your, same thing as a Dodge Intrepid. I think this one happens to be, what, a 300M or whatever it's called. Let's see, yeah, I just don't want to be wrong. Yeah, 300M. Got a Cobalt here. This ran last night. Not sure why they took them out, but they did. So either way, back for more tonight. Got this car. This car actually tied with Dylan Archer. This is actually not driven by the same driver tonight. That driver has a different car. So either way, this car is pretty clean up front. Hopefully it holds up pretty decent. Got a Subaru wagon. Next to that, it's an Outback. Very orange, may I add. Be able to spot that from a mile away. Got a Buick Century with a Mario theme on it. Pretty rusty looking if you guys look down in there in the frame. But, hey, you know what? I usually crap on Centuries, but after the one ran last night, I'm not sure how much I want to crap on them. That one proved to be a lot tougher than mine. But got a, what is this, a Elantra right here. Toyota Corolla next to another Toyota Corolla. This one's fresh, obviously pre-ran on the right. Got a W body right there. Got a Camry. Ran last night. Won. Pretty smashed in the back, but I think he's going to use the front more today. Probably, if I were to guess. An Oldsmobile Intrigue this is. Hopefully that does well tonight. We'll see. Just had a fan come up to me, had to say hi. Guys, I don't mind at all you guys come up to me. I always like meeting fans. So, anyhow, got a Chevy Cavalier here. Very bone stock. Got the wiring going through all here. And we'll see how that all holds up. Sure it'll be fine. Those are pretty heavy chains, I'll tell you that. Got a fuel cell in it, so not too bone stock. Floor's pretty rotted out down there, unless it's been cut. I'm not sure. Looks like the gas lines are actually going to the factory gas lines underneath. We'll see how that does. We'll wait until the inspection line after the fact. We'll go through what's left through the inspection here. Look at that old boat. Nice headers. Look at that pointy bumper. That's a nice looking car right there. Another car behind that, Dane Dittman. Good driver. See how his car holds up, obviously pre-ran. So we'll see. That bumper's pretty shot. Surprised if he doesn't get ramped in this Cadillac here, this DeVille, or what is it? Yeah, DeVille. Could ramp him, but we'll see. He's probably just here to finish it off anyway, so. Looks like maybe an 03 newer going based off how straight that frame is. So, yeah, they're pretty tough cars. We'll see. Looks like, yep, that's the aluminum subframe. So yeah, up front. Got the newer style Impalas. You guys know I like these for both driving, and I have yet to derby one because I always sell them before I derby them, but I'm always interested to see how these do. I hate that people don't swap their spindles on these, but you know, bone stock, you know, sometimes it's not worth it. You just go out there to have fun. Got a car coming back from last night, Joe Koblinski. That thing's it's still got some life in it, not running the best, it doesn't sound like, but maybe I'm wrong. Probably a little misfire I'm hearing. Got a battery box that isn't yet tied down yet, but we'll see. I think that's it. Yeah, battery box. A Cobalt. I'm sure they're going to finish that up soon. Got a Buick LaCrosse here. Don't see too many of these run. Same thing as an Impala. The one that I believe there was one of these at Boonville that was a raffle car that ended up doing quite well. So we'll see how this one does tonight. Kind of a 50-50 shot. It's got the 3800 in it, so 3800s are always pretty decent, at least as far as handling heat. Got a Crown Victoria. See those dominating full size.
Right there.
What?
So that's the winner right there.
Right here?
Yeah.
Got a Cadillac. Front-wheel drive Cadillac. Same thing as a front end as a LeSabre on these, essentially. So we'll see how she holds up. You know, these front-wheel drive Cadillacs, I've been surprised by them sometimes, and sometimes they're out first. You just got to watch the aluminum suspension up front. That's the only weakness in these cars, I think. I haven't heard of anything else really breaking on these. I know that the engine sits pretty far forward on these, though. So you want to protect that front end. But since they're front-wheel drive, you can kick this front end around pretty quickly compared to the full-size cars, so we'll see. These Crown Victorias are always decent in bone stock derbies. They seem to hold up okay. Got one right here. So, we'll see. Got another front-wheel drive Cadillac here. This looks like an STS. Or, sorry, maybe it's, oh, Seville. That's not STS. What is this thing, a Seville?
Cadillac Seville.
Yeah. I don't know why I was saying STS for some reason, but I was like, oh wait, no, that's a Seville. So, that was, the STS was later, but I think. I can't remember. Either way, these things, you got to watch the aluminum suspension, like I said, but they hold up okay. I think because they have the front frame of a Buick LeSabre, those early 2000s Buick LeSabres, those are pretty decent front ends. I've seen them take some pretty hard shots, and they really don't have any trouble, and the back ends are pretty stout too. So we'll see how this thing does. I'm sure it'll be one of the most comfortable riding derby cars you've ever driven. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. There's a few of those here tonight, so we'll see. I got a compact car right here. This is a Corolla. Pretty bone stock. Doesn't look terribly rusty, honestly. Usually these rust out all along the rockers here. They're all gone, but this one actually doesn't look too bad. We'll see how it does. Full-size tires in the back. Actually, the front tires almost look to be in better tread condition in the front. Must have been a hurried build, probably, if I were to guess. Just bone stock guys. A lot of these guys just run for fun, and that's what this sport is all about. So at the end of the day, it's all good. Look at that Ford. Got a Crown Victoria right here. A little bit. They always put these cars a little bit close, so it's hard to get them all really in one good camera view. But let's see. We got another Impala. This one has the 3.6 in it. Ooh, I'm curious. I'm very curious to see how this thing does. 3.6. I don't know if I've ever seen one of those run. If I have, I'm forgetting, because that means it's 2012 or newer. So I just was working on one actually today. So we'll see. Be interesting to see how that handles heat. The timing chain and everything, of the issues that they have. We'll see. They always have a lot of power, though. That's what's nice about the 3.6. Let's go along these two lines, and we'll just get them at the same time. Got a Malibu right here. Kind of interesting paint job here. Just got a wood grain side. I like that. See how it holds up. Got a steel bumper on the front, helpful. Hey! Got a Ford Focus right here. Got it in memory. Looks like. Yellow car. Got a Chevrolet HHR behind that. These things are pretty stout. We saw while Joe Kobolinski ran this last night. Same kind of vehicle. You got to watch, once again, front spindles are aluminum. I think the control arms are also aluminum on these, so you got to watch out for that. But overall, they're very stout in the front and the back, especially the back. Got a Subaru right here. So we'll see how that holds up. Big donuts on those. I couldn't even call that donuts, almost just as big as the front tire. Huh. But not as thick, so it's still gonna create less traction issues. Got a Malibu right here. Pretty rotted out subframe. You guys can see in there, that subframe's pretty rotted, so we'll see how that holds up. Another Subaru Outback right here. A few Subarus here tonight. Usually don't see a lot of Subarus in Herkimer anyway, but tonight we are seeing a few. Got a Honda Accord right here. A good front bumper on that. Pretty beefy looking. Looks like, just looks like a no stuffing inside that or anything. Like I said, this is bone stock, so this is only really the metal of the bumper is what you see. There's nothing inside that, so that's basically what Herkimer calls for. If you're going to run something like that, it generally has to be not stuffed or anything like that. But you know, Herkimer. Honda Civic right here. Saw one of these almost identical car run last night. Held up pretty well. Went for a long time before getting too hot to move. So it's a Honda Civic. So not surprised. Got a Ford Fusion right here. It's been seeing a few of these do quite well. Some decent tires on the back of that too. Not terrible as far as tread depth, but I don't know if I would have ran full size on the back of that because there's so much sheet metal right there. It's going to get in those tires, but we'll see. It's not as muddy tonight. Oh, this car. Hey, we know who drives this car. B52 of Dylan Archer. We've been seeing him all over the place winning. Been doing a great job. Last night he got in a tie. But tonight I'm sure he's looking for a win. So we'll see how it holds up. He went and made this back end so he could see out of it and stuff. And looking pretty good going through here. That's new. I believe that's new for Herkimer's, putting those on there. I can't remember whether that was new for the bone stock at Morris or here, but for spinning wheels, I should say. But those are important to have, the valve protectors. But yeah, pretty straight. I'm sure that he will try to bend this thing tonight. He already told me he's going to be sending this thing, so hopefully he does well. Great guy, heck of a driver, and we're going to hear a lot more about B52 of Dylan Archer. I'm sure in the future he's becoming very known around this area for being a great driver and a great person, honestly. So, good people. We're going to try to sneak around the inspection line. Let's see if I can get yelled at, but because get another look at that full size right there. Let's see if I can get yelled at over here. Got a team of 3 right there. Got Ritten, LaSalle, and Dane Dittman all running a team of 3 right there. Those guys are good guys. They know how to derby, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them do well tonight. Got another full size right there, as well as a Lincoln Town Car behind that. Look at those tires on the back. Those are big mud tires right there. Gonna be a target out there, that's for sure.
They start cracking jokes.
Got a Subaru Impala behind that, and a Camry. And then we see a Buick LeSabre. I'm actually pretty interested to see this Buick LeSabre over here because this LeSabre ran last night. Just want to see how bent this front end is because I've always wanted to run a LeSabre. So see how bad this thing's pretty rotted. They're pretty rotted right where the air conditioning sits, but I'm not surprised that this looks like this. Honestly, she made some hard shots last night, and see that sheet metal's almost straight in that front tire, but it looks like they're going to be running again tonight. Got Kobolinski pulling over in his car right there. But yeah, this thing was pretty rotten. You guys can see that that's where the gas tank fills from. You guys can see all that rot around the seals. So yeah, this thing was a little bit crusty. Yeah, look at that. So I'm not terribly surprised. I'd try to use the back end a lot more. It looks like it's starting to actually go down, if I were to guess. Looking in there, I can't really tell, I don't think. I can't really see though. So we'll see. We'll see. You know, that's the best part about Demolition Derby, is that you never know what's going to happen. It's so random. That's what a lot of people love about Demolition Derby. I love that too, is that you never know. You could have the crappiest car in there and still win, because if you're a good driver and you know, do what you need to do, then as long as you can protect your car enough, and still obviously not, you know, bag or anything, but as long as you do a good job, you know, it's all part of the randomness of Demolition Derby. Like, if you ever told me a Ford Focus would win the Derby, I'd be surprised, because everybody knows I'm not a huge fan of Ford Focuses as far as Demolition Derby goes, because I think they're very weak cars. They're pretty stout in the back, but in the front they're pretty crap. So here's Kobolinski's car from last night. Interesting that it looks like this was probably like a delivery vehicle, possibly. Looks like he actually cut that metal out and pushed it down. So yeah, I bet this was some type of like van that went around delivering parts or catering service or something like that. Nice to have that full sheet of metal there. That's important to strengthen the back, but I bet this thing's going to do well again tonight, unless he just sends it, which he might just do, because he's already got one win on it. Got the Buick Century back from last night. Got seat belts. This is actually something I'm starting to see when they were telling me about it. This actually ran at Brookfield, this car. This is a Buick Century, ran at Brookfield. And this is how they're keeping the pillars and the floor from blowing out from this thing. And it seems to be holding up. So we'll see how it holds up tonight. But I'm going to bet it's going to do well. This is just a seat belt holding it together. It actually has no tension on it yet. So maybe it's not too far gone. Maybe they pulled some of this out from last night. But I think it just lost an axle, so they probably popped another axle in it. I think this is running tonight. I could be totally wrong, but I think they popped another axle, and I think they're going to run again. At least I think it popped an axle out, so we'll see. But that's pretty much it for the Prelude, guys. I know this one was a little bit messy, but, you know, Herkimer's a little bit messy too. But, oh, I didn't get the Camry wagon either. I got to get my Camry wagon. Well, not my Camry wagon, but, you know, Camry wagons are always fun to look at. I wonder how rotted it is compared to what mine was. Mine was a lot more rotted than I thought it was. Let's see. Did they cover it up or did they not? Nope, this is definitely cleaner than mine was, that's for sure. Yeah, mine was rotted out in the strut towers all along the bottom here. So I bet this one's going to hold up better than what mine did. So looks like the panels are blowing out like mine did though. So I think that's pretty common on these wagons. I'm not convinced that these wagons are any tougher in the back than just regular sedans. I'm really not. After watching Zach's run, mine run, I'm not really convinced that these wagons are that much tougher in the back. I mean, they look cool, but I'm not convinced that they are that much cleaner in the back. I was very lucky to have a V6 or a 4-cylinder. This one happens to be V6. 4-cylinders were rare in those wagons, so I had a little gem and I didn't even know it, really. So anyways, that's pretty much it for this Prelude, guys. Like I said before, of course this time it's actually gonna end, I promise. So with that, we'll end it. Like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for some good heats, I am sure.